Before I begin, if you're liking the content of these videos, if you think they are helping you out, please help me out by clicking on like, comment on the video, share these videos, subscribe to the channel, and also click on the notification icon. Also, all the multi-time frame chart analysis that we will be doing right now, you will find the links to all those charts in the description below. In the description below, you will also find the link to our free Discord server as well as the Facebook page, and you are very welcome to join there. Now let us get down to business. Hello traders, let us take a look at what we are expecting tomorrow. What are the support resistance areas that we have for tomorrow? So if we start back on the monthly chart, nothing changes, right? All these lines stay same, and we are waiting for price to come up to this area somewhere, and then we will see if we can get rejected or not. So at this point of time, nothing else changes on the monthly chart. We just have to remember that these are the levels. 5433 again is a very important level. We did not even come down there. Tomorrow we will see that if we break down the 5445 area, we come down to 5433, and then if you're bouncing from there again, and then we get above the 38 to 40 area, get above the 45 line, maybe that will be another signal of a failed breakout, just like we had today morning at the 45 line, and then keep going up to whatever resistance point it wants to go, right? So we will take a look at those resistance points once we get to the lower time frames. Now, if for some reason the market wants to break down the 33 line, we can come to this 5369 to the 5358 area on the monthly chart. That is where we will meet the trend line once again, and then we can go down these levels as well. Looking at the weekly chart, we can see that after these 3 weeks down and the fourth week down, we are actually in a pullback mode. We can get into a two-legged pullback. But right now the first leg is running. Now we will have to be very careful in this line, which is the 5495 to the 5499 area. We need to cross above this, and above that we will also have a resistance at the 5502 area, and then again at the 5509 to the 5511 area. These are the two levels where I will be very careful if I am long, and if you see the market is turning down from here and comes down below this 5496 level, there is a high possibility that the market may actually pull back for a little bit after that, as long as we do not see that this level held and it went back up and created a false breakout of the 9596 level and goes and sits above the 9 or 10 area again. But remember, on the daily chart, 5409 will be a resistance. It will be a trend line resistance. So we will have to be very careful there what happens. We will take a look at it again when we get back to the daily chart. On the downside, again, I will be looking at the 5433 breakdown, the 5433 to 5432 breakdown. This area has to break down for the price to come down to the 5421 level. And after that, we may continue down to the 5387 and the 5371 levels. So as of now, there is no change on the weekly chart as well. Now, one thing to notice is this is the trend line that we have, and at this point of time we are above the trend line. The trend line support is at 5471, 5470. If you remember, we were dancing around a lot in that area today, and then finally we broke out of it and came to the 85 area. But there is a possibility that we may get a pullback tomorrow or sometime next week, but we will have to see what happens when that happens, because at this point of time the market is really bullish. There is no bearishness in the market. So we will have to watch out and see when the major levels are being taken out, and that is when we can again move to a always in short mentality. And for that, first I have to see the 38 and the 40 level getting broken out, which was the low of today in the RTHRs, and then we will see we come down to 5433. If 5433 breaks down, that is the actual time when we can see some good bearish action coming down. Looking at the daily chart now, as we saw yesterday, we had the first leg down, the second leg down, third leg down, and then the fourth leg down, and now we are on the way up. This was the first leg up, we came down again, and then we are in the second leg up right now. Now, as we were talking yesterday, the 5509 line may be a resistance area for the bulls if the price went up there today. The price did not go up there today. So if the price wants to go up there tomorrow or sometime tonight, this 5499.5 area will be the trend line resistance for the bulls today. If we can get above that, then we will try to get to this 5527 to the 5540 area on the top. And on the daily chart, based on this candle, we are actually having the 5539 area as the target. So it is possible that we can get a rejection from here, or otherwise we will keep going up to hit these targets. Now, what we need to remember is we have a nice micro gap here, right? So this will be the first support area if the price comes down on the daily chart. So this 5457 to 5456 with the first support area. If it breaks down, we may again come down to the 543839 area. And if we get below this box, then there is a chance we come to 5419 and subsequently to the 539697 areas and down below. Let us take a look at the ATR where we closed yesterday, and we closed around at 75 points. So if the market wants to go up 75 points from here, it will kind of bring us to around 5560, this area, right? And if the market is dumping tomorrow, then if we count again from the open of the day on the Globex session, then our 75 points comes around 5405 area again. And if that happens, then maybe we are in the pullback mode of this bullish move up, and then after that we may get a third leg, we may create a wedge, and then we will see what happens. I will also have this trend line here just to make sure that if we are going up to this 551718 level and getting rejected, we know what is happening. And then if we break down this 5500 again, we may come down and test the 84 and 75, all those areas down below once again. So on the daily chart, I will keep these two lines marked, which is the downtrend line resistance and the upper trend line resistance. And once we break out above these areas, 5539 won't be very far away to be reached. Now let us take a look at the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, again, if we see if this was the final pullback and then we broke out of this and started going up, if we are trying to get 1:1 of this whole move down, then our target becomes again at the 4-hour double top breakdown area, which is again at the 553839 area. So if we are breaking out tomorrow out of this 5485 area, that was the high of today, then there is a big possibility that we can come and touch this 5516 levels and then to the 553839 levels where we have the 4-hour double top breakdown. So there is a good probability that we come and hit this levels tomorrow. On the downside, this is a very strong bar. We can come down to the 5456 levels. We can come down to the 5447 levels. But as long as this box is not broken down, we will not get a proper higher low. And as long as we do not get a proper higher low, we may not be able to come down. And also we will need to keep in mind that this is the trend line that we have. Even if we come down, we do not know which 4-hour bar will want to come down here, but whichever comes down, we will have to keep in mind that there may be a trend line support somewhere there. Now, just like we did yesterday, I converted this whole thing into a channel. So if we keep going up at any point of time, any of the 4-hour bars can come and hit the midpoint of this channel. Now, it may be possible that we can hit the midpoint of this channel and then we start a pullback again. If you see that we have tried to get above the midpoint of this channel, this whole channel, and then we have failed here, and all of this time we are actually below this midpoint line. So it is prudent to keep in mind that price can come up to this midline and then start getting rejected. We will have to see at what point of time that happens. Now, it is not mandatory that the weekly chart will get a second leg down, right? It may not actually get a second leg down, and price can go back to the all-time high once again. So there is always a possibility of that happening. But then we will have to play level to level. We have to have our expectations in mind. But there is a possibility that the weekly bears will get a second leg down. So we will have to stay prepared, look at the price action, look at what is happening, and based on that, we can decide which direction the market is trying to trend in. On the downside, again, all these support areas remain the same. We have it at 5415, we have it at 5401 to 03, and then the major support comes at 5378 to the 5345 area, and then subsequently we have all these levels to the downside. Now, also, if we are looking at this fib, this 5498.75 area, and we know the 5499 area, that can also be a very good area of resistance because that is the 11% of this whole fib, and we may get rejected from there as well. And since we also note that this is a trend line support on the higher time frame, this may be a good area to take profit. When price comes up here, you can hold on to a runner. But if you see the price is getting rejected from here, it will be very prudent to come out of the trade. And then once it crosses above, you can re-enter the longs again and try for the levels on the top. Now, along with the RTH double top at the 5485 area, we did also have the hourly double top here. We tried to break out of this, but we were unsuccessful today. So once we break out of this, the next target will be the 5488 area, and then the 5493 to the 5498 area, or the 99 area. That will be the next area of resistance on the hourly chart. And if we can get above that, then we will come to this 5424 to the 5528 area, and subsequently maybe to the 5538 to the 40 area, which is the main target that we are looking for. Along with that, this 5515 line can also be an area where the hourly chart can make a double top and then pull back. Now on the downside, I would need to see that this 5474 line is being broken down. If this 5474 line is being broken down, then we will come somewhere in this box. We have to remember about this trend line as well on the 1 hour chart. There's a very similar channel, or this is actually the same channel that we have on the 4 hour chart as well. Again, on the 1 hour chart, I would like to see that this area is getting broken down 6.7 to the 6.0 area. If this breaks down, then we come to this 5450 area again. The daily 40 EMA is at 5451 right now. So I would just pick this line up and put it with the daily 40 EMA right here. And if we break this down, then the next target will be the 5443 or the 5438 to the 340 area. Below that, we will come to the 5433. This will be a very major area of support. If that breaks down, then these are the subsequent levels where price may come down to. Again, as we are going up, we need to keep in mind where the 1 hour chart is meeting this midpoint of the channel. And if we are getting rejected from there, that may be a very good area to take profit as well. Now, I also wanted to bring your attention to the fact that this was the first leg up, this was the second leg up, this was the third leg up, and we have the fourth leg up as well. So there is a big possibility that we do not get above this hourly double top or the RTH double top that we had, and we actually start getting rejected from there and we start coming down. So at this point of time, if you look at the hourly chart, you will see that there has been a wedge formation which is there, but the market is bullish, and when the market is bullish, it can very easily break out of the wedge. So we need to be careful about that. If this is one wedge line, another wedge line can also be drawn just like this on the upside. So we will have to see where the hourly chart goes and hits it. What I will do is I will have both these trend lines drawn on my ETH 5-minute chart as well, and I will be careful to see where the price is going up and starts getting rejected. Now let us take a look at the final chart, which is the RTH chart. So if you see here, we had this micro gap here as of yesterday. We came down here again today morning and we could not close a follow through bar below that, and we actually posted a 45-point move up, right? So at this point of time, our support and resistances on the RTH chart remains exactly the same. So if we can break out of the RTH double top again and come above the high of today, then there is a big possibility that we can hit this 9.3 to the 9.9 area, above which we will see this 5.509. Now we will have to move this HTF trend line to 5.502 at this point, because we saw that is where the trend line is. And then we have the multiple RTH double tops on the top, which the market may want to go and hit again. On the downside, if you see that this is a very strong support area that we created here today, my line just vanished. Yeah, this is a very strong support area that we created today, and this is at 5465. We may pull back there. We actually are in a trading range between this 5465 and this 5485 in this 20-point area. We are in this trading range, or you can say the trading range is still 80. We broke out of this trading range. We did get a follow through. Now we will have to see tomorrow morning where the price opens up and how it behaves around these areas again. So if we break down this area, we can come down to 5456. We have seen that the 545150 area will be a very good area of support, but if we break that down, we can again come back to this 5445, and if we have a close below this micro gap here and then we have another follow through bar after that, it is possible that we can come down to the subsequent levels to the 5433, 2321 area, and finally to 5410. And if that 75 point is actually true that we are coming to the downside, we will come somewhere at the 5401.5 level, and then the market even may try to go down and close this gap at 539798 area. We will also have to keep in mind this bar 17 from today. This bar 17 has been the best support that has been formed. So I will actually put a blue box around that. This will be a very good support area that we will have. We came down there, we tried to break it down once, we tried to break it down twice, but both the times we were unsuccessful and we went back to the top again. So even if price wants to come down here tomorrow in the RTH hours, this can again act as a buy zone and push the market up and continue to be in this TR as long as we do not break out either on the upside or on the downside. So that is all I have for now, and I will see you guys again at 8:45 a.m. EST tomorrow morning in the pre-market planning call. If you want to join that meeting, you will find the link to the Google Meet in the description below. I will end this video here today, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.